This is a behind the scenes video to share my process when building my human form based series of works. This film was shot in 2019, and that's important because rituals and routines and my workflow patterns, I'm always doing my best to break free from them. So what you see here now may not be even how I work in the next art shoot that I have. But let me get to some fundamentals about the process and see if I can shed some light on it. As you can see here, the model is white. That's the base coat I start with. It helps in the same way that priming a canvas white really helps. It also removes the nude aspect with the model pretty quickly. The minute the white's on there, it's almost like a bathing suit of sorts. And it helps me and the model get into a more sculptural sensibility. There's something about the white and how it transforms the dimensional dynamics of the body curvatures. Once the white's on, as you can see, a process unravels in the studio that is constructed by one simple formula that I use, which is a kind of active state of fluid consciousness. And it's not necessary for the participant to understand or have had experience with this process for it to function. I use a certain nurturing of the ambiance, the environment, the sound with music. It's essentially a way of being in a dynamic creative state with the person I'm working with without relying on my intellect. And that may sound a bit foreign, especially to Westerners, but the origins of this practice comes from Eastern methodologies, Far East methodologies that were shown to me in my late teens. The foundation of my work is based on this essential protocol. So as you can see, with the colors that are on the body at this point, those patterns and colors were not premeditated. You can see Georgie's having fun. It's a lot of fun. It's very much a transcendental dynamic because the human form for me is really just a skin or a capsule containing something more profound, and that's where my interest goes. I'm very much focused on that aspect, that dimension of life, and exploring that dimension of life through my work. When I speak of that dimension, I'm talking about the being in what it is human, to be human, the human being. That huge question mark. That's what these works essentially are, a conversation about and a process to look for new ways to see this encapsulation of what it means to be human. And these shoots, they last about 3 hours, and they typically seem to have, and I say typically because there are no rules and patterns and protocols per se, other than the state of consciousness that I referred to earlier. But there are transitions, as you can see here. These transitions happen almost like stretching might occur in yoga. It's just about really paying attention to the moment, being very present, while in a state of playfulness, essentially. not different than that quality of play that you can find in children before their intellect has become their main focal point. And these works are not built from that aspect of the mind, the intellect. In fact, I do everything I can to quiet or minimize the influence of that aspect in this process, mainly because I'm interested in art from the concept of innovation. I'm looking to seek something new.